FEHE in the coming decades. And I think it's really important that as colleges and universities, we're trying to think through, as we're building new resources, as we are here at Leeds Met with our fantastic new Rose Bowl building, our new business school, as we're looking at how we're going to manage our resources. Are we doing it for now or for 5 years, or are we thinking far ahead? And it's really difficult to horizon scan. But if we're going to talk about what it is we're doing here, I think what we're trying to do is to provide creative, powerful, positive and personalised ways of supporting student learning. I think we've got to use the whole range of Web 2.0 technologies to help us make sure that the students have an experience that's as positive as possible. I was very interested last week to look at the Guardian special supplement on libraries, which had lots and lots to help us understand how we use content better. It's called Libraries Unleashed, and it's supported by JISC, and it's still available on the Guardian website. So what I think we've got to do is think about universities and colleges as being places that recognise and accredit student achievement, not necessarily just the stuff they've done with us. It might have been stuff that we've developed and used with them, but it might be stuff that they bring to us. It might be stuff that they get from outside. After all, here at Leeds Met, the average age of our undergraduate student is 23. And if they come to us at 23 or older, they've been doing something for the time between now and when they were leaving school. So I think we are fools if we don't acknowledge that. So we need to be aware that we need to recognise student achievement by diversity of type, scope, timing and methodologies. And I think there's going to be significantly less emphasis in the coming years on content delivery. And I think there's going to be a much, much stronger focus on developing information literacies. Now, each year here at Leeds Met, we have a number of priorities. This year it was 7 for the coming year. And for the Leeds Met people in my audience, some live, some out in the ether, I'm telling you right now that one of the priorities for 2008-9 is going to be information literacies, because that strikes me as something that's hugely important. How can we wean students away from just going straight to Google? Can we encourage them instead, if possible, to use Google Scholar or Adina or YouTutor or one of the other search engines that's going to take them to quality assured content rather than just a website here and there in California that may or may not add value. So there's going to be a much stronger focus on information literacies, and I think that's going to have huge staff development implications for us who are doing the teaching, for those of us who are managing, for college and university staff. What are the staff development implications? Might be something, again, you'd like to talk about during the course of this week of discussions. Moving now to personalised learning. I think it's a term that if you look at what's happening in schools, you'll see that schools are moving away from learning by year, learning in separate year groups, learning where everybody has to belt along at the same pace. And more schools are encouraging learning that's at the student's own pace, with choices about timing, content, focus and styles of learning. And I think if colleges and universities ignore that, then we're going to be very foolish. So I think we need to develop a whole range of new relationships between students and tutors. In particular, ways of looking at learning conversations, interactions. Now, those conversations might be face-to-face, they might be as I'm speaking to you now, they might be through email, but one thing's for sure, the power relationship between tutors and students, tutors and pupils, is changing quite radically. I think this means that we all have to be looking everywhere we go for a greater place for the student voice in the curriculum. How can we take from students the interests that they have, the inputs that they can make? Because again, if you think about students who are coming to us as mature students, more and more we can expect them to bring things with them so that they're not just taking from us what we're giving to them. So more use for the student voice and greater opportunities for peer-to-peer learning and mentoring. The term that's been used over the years for this is parrainage. It's a French term. It's just a posh word which means senior students supporting the learning of more junior students. So typically in our fantastic events management course here at Leeds Met, third-year students might get engaged with assessing the work of first-year students, or indeed possibly the other way around sometimes, which is even more exciting.